building the reciprocity project has been really interesting demonstration of trying to figure out how to build a product, build something that doesn't exist that will be self-sustaining. So the end goal, right? It's just like any other organization or business or whatever, is to get enough revenue to basically pay the bills. And that's like super easy with like a lawn mowing business because everybody wants that, or snow shoveling. But I mean, it could be hard if it's not snowing very well, right? If the season's not right. But those ones are pretty easy because there is a direct need for that, or becoming a doctor, for example. It's easy to do that. But with the reciprocity project, it's been very difficult figuring out. So the first thing is figuring out who needs the support or needs the particular thing. So there's that. Um, then after that, there's a whole bunch of people that need it, but don't necessarily support it, right? Like a huge mass of that. Then after that, it's figuring out of those not only sort of willing to support it, but then finding those who'd be willing to pay for it. And this is a challenging thing, right? So what does that mean? At each one of those stages, I've talked about that before on this podcast. Each one of those stages, you dwindle down. Let's say that, and I didn't, it's just really green on this, right? So let's say that one out of 1,000 actually get what the reciprocity project is actually about, right? The sort of platform that gives you feedback, helps you to create a non-rejectable research paper at any skill level. And that, I mean, that took me a long time to figure that, just how to say that. Um, then, after that, let's say people are like, okay, I kind of get it. But then after that, um, the number of people that would be willing to support it and say, like, I actually like this thing is, you know one out of 1,000 of that group. And then after that, there's like one out of 1,000 of those that would be willing to pay for it. um, but then you got to figure out, like, how do you actually get them to pay for it, right? Like, what is it that they're paying for? How do they, like, it's not easy to figure that out, right? It's like, Facebook, for example. You don't pay for Facebook. When you use it, you pay for ads, for example, or your eyeballs. And people don't really see that. It's not clear to them that they're actually paying, uh, that their eyeballs are paying for it. Um, and any, I didn't expect the sort of challenges of figuring this out, of getting to how do you get people. There's clearly a market need. I really think that there's a market need, um, and it's bigger than one thinks. But how do you clearly get, what is the product? What is the thing that you're actually selling? That is a lot more challenging than I ever would have imagined, because it doesn't jump up at you, right? Like, it's not something that really clearly jumps up at you. And I don't think you can get there immediately. You kind of have to sort of fledge along. And I think every venture, unless you're very, very lucky, I think every venture is sort of fledging along until you get that, until it sort of clicks. Um, and then you might get it. Here's the thing that's even more challenging. You might get what it is, but then building it and implementing it is another story, because you've already sort of built another thing, right? Like, you actually have something else. And the whole thing is just just so challenging to figure out. It's just this big giant puzzle that you're working through. And you know, at any given moment, it's just going to fall apart. You know, at any given moment that you're just making things up and you're doing the best that you possibly can. But, you know, the rest of the world doesn't care about it, but you care about it, right? Like that is a kerfuffle. Let's how do you do this? I don't know. Um, I guess the only answer I have, and it's the same answer with everything, is just show up every day until it actually gets done. Figure it out. Like just spend a great deal of time and effort figuring it out, going through, taking one little step every day until it happens, right? And it might take you 30 years, but damn it, it's gonna happen. All right, take care and have a wonderful day.